Let me ask you a question. When you're on the air, do you have a couple drinks before you go on?
Never.
Because I watched you one time and you were slurring your words a little bit.
I was never slurring my words.
When you were on your show, on Judge Jeanine, you were slurring your words a little bit.
But that's what we like about it. We're like, this
funny.
is what's fun about the show.
He's saying that I was slurring my words.
You have got to love the Good Liars. These two people are American heroes. They're hilarious, and they ask the questions you dream about asking some of these MAGA folks that just live in this alternate reality and never directly get questioned on it. But this is great news because the wine mom demographic of the MAGA voter base just scored a huge win as Trump gave yet another incredibly powerful job to yet another drunk Fox News host. Seems the drunker you are, the further you advance in government these days. And it's inspiring. It really encourages me to drink more. I got heavily drunk before this video. It seems like it's the only way to be respected. To be respected is the only way. Except I'm faking being drunk, and Jeanine Pirro seems to actually be drunk, allegedly, all of the time, allegedly. Here's some clips.
Welcome back to Justice. Just the other day, the president talked or was hoping.
Every newspaper, and I'm like, I should sue. I'm not a drunk. Everybody knows my girlfriends are like, Jeanine, have a drink. You know, I should get drunk just over that.
If the devil called me and said he wanted to set up a meeting to give me opposition research on my opponent, I'd be on the first trolley to hell to get it. You, Mr. Barr, are so deep in the swamp, you can't see beyond your fellow reptiles. As for those liberal Hollywood leftists in need of a lobotomy, like Rosie O'Donnell, they are straight up communists. There is a cleansing needed in our FBI and Department of Justice. It needs to be cleansed of individuals who should not just be fired, but who need to be taken out in handcuffs.
I mean, it's comically absurd for somebody like Judge Jeanine Pirro to be considered for any job outside of a TV anchor for a propaganda network. She's good for that. She really does fit the criteria for that, like no real connection to the truth, the ability to, and really the willingness to throw all sort of morals under the bus just to support your dear leader who you want to kiss up to in case, I don't know, one day he becomes president again and gives you a huge job as DC's top federal prosecutor.
The United States gave something like $44 billion a year through USAID for things like dance classes in Wuhan, China, and Sesame Street in Iraq. But here in the United States Attorney's Office, where we prosecute crime on behalf of the victims, on behalf of the people who are targeted by criminals, the U.S. attorneys, as well as the staff, in order to get water, they have to join a water club. And they have to pay. It's a dues-paying membership. And today they asked for our patience. Why? Because we couldn't get water delivered today. Today there was no water delivered to the United States Attorney's Office. And remember, it's only for those who pay $7 a month. Now, ain't it grand to be a part of the government?
Ah, poor baby, she thirsty. Just to put some perspective on the very thirsty Jeanine Pirro's complaining, she recently disclosed, while taking this job, that she has a net worth of $11.6 million, more than me, more than you, I would guess, which includes a $3.5 million mansion in New York and a hefty salary of nearly $3 million from Fox News just from January of last year to May of this year. Knowing this after watching that cringe video should say all you need to know about who Pirro really is, somebody that's just there to anger people and enrage people for no reason, for just to be a goofball. She's in there to be a federal prosecutor / goofball. At least she's always been fighting for the real causes that matter. Like, we do really have to stop babies from collecting Social Security, right?
We found out that there are people who are between the ages of 1 and 4 are getting Social Security, that we've got something like $69 million of taxpayers who are dead.
For kids
but
whose parents are
let me
dead.
just finish. But
Right.
the problem is this.
Oh, right. The Democrat on the panel had to get the fact in there that 2 to 4-year-olds get Social Security only if their parents have tragically passed away. And Pirro hears that, or maybe drunkenly half doesn't hear that, perhaps, and then still says, well, let me finish. Let me finish my point. Well, no, maybe when you hear a point that makes your point completely ridiculous and offensive, maybe you pull back your point at that point. Do you get my point? Here's AOC making my point even better than I can make it because she got a whole crowd behind her and stuff.
Just yesterday I saw on television, on Fox News, you had this woman, Jeanine Pirro. Crazy thing about Jeanine Pirro is that she's from Westchester County, where I went to public school, and it's like, wow, how things have evolved there. Anyways, so Jeanine Pirro goes on television. She says, as though this is fraud, she says that they found so many babies and 2-year-olds and 4-year-olds who were receiving Social Security. I've got a notice for you, Jeanine Pirro. Those babies get Social Security because their parents died. That's not a waste. That's humanity. That's America. That's the country that we fight for. Those are the promises we make to one another. That is what it means to be in a civilized society.
You see, having somebody like Pirro in such a powerful position like the U.S. Attorney of Washington, D.C. is very dangerous, not just because she's deeply unserious and unqualified, but she's also one of Trump's most loyal foot soldiers and will say and do anything, even if it's completely devoid of reality, to kiss up to her boss. And this sets, maybe sort of a bad precedent for other positions in our country or just the state of the nation in general. It's really a problem, but problems seem to be kind of our modus operandi these days, so whatever. It's not much we can do about it. They're also building that weird ass attachment to the White House that's bigger than the White House, and the color doesn't match and comes that way in the front and just dwarfs the actual White House, and it just makes no sense whatsoever. I'm tired. I'm confused, and I'm tired. And I'm all alone. But you can follow me, so I'm less alone, at Ben Gleib on Instagram. Thank you.